Hello, my name is Ramsey Stimson. Welcome to Maryland Firearms and Tactical Training's new location in Essex, Maryland, the MFATT Academy. And today is episode 2 of 5 questions with the MFATT Academy. Our questions today are student questions about important decisions that they need to make in order to get the type of training they need that's most helpful and useful to them. So let's jump right into it. Our first question is going to be, what's the difference between the Hardening of the Home with HQL course and the HQL course? The Hardening of the Home course with HQL not only gives you all the information and training that you need in order to be able to apply for and get your handgun qualification license with the state of Maryland, but it includes a lot of information on how to harden the home to make it more difficult to break into, to bar unlawful entry, forced entry, thieves, and burglars. But it also teaches you how to make your home less attractive to thieves and burglars and unlawful entry. So it's a value to our customers, especially those who live in areas where there's break-ins on a regular basis and they might be a target. Our next question is just going to be that we have students that see other trainers offering courses where they say, we'll get you certified to carry in 35 states or perhaps 36 or 37 states, depending on who's making the offer. And the answer to that is yes, we do make the same statement, but not on our website. We'll tell you that once you have your Maryland wear and carry permit, you can carry in multiple states. Now, some states flip-flop as far as to whether they allow out-of-state non-resident people to carry. But what you have to understand is that about 29 states right now, soon hopefully to be 30 states in the union, are constitutional carry, which means you don't even need a permit in order to carry there. You simply have to be at least 21 years of age and not have anything in your background that prohibits you from carrying a firearm or possessing a firearm or ammunition. And then it's lawful for you to carry there. However, there are differences from state to state as to what is allowed, whether or not you have a duty to retreat, whether you have a duty to inform a police officer, what type of ammunition you can carry, whether you can open carry or you must conceal carry. All depends on whether you're a resident or a non-resident and what permit that you have. So it's important that you understand these differences, but just know that there's no one out there that's giving you a card that says this state, this state, this state, up to 37 states. It's going to be a specific state, and it's going to allow you by recognition or reciprocity from other states to carry in those other states as well. Our next question is going to be, why don't we do the Utah carry permit? That's a popular permit back, especially when Maryland residents couldn't get a permit to carry in Maryland. They could get a Utah permit, and the Utah permit, the big deal, I think originally they told you you can carry in like 32 or 35 states or whatever it was, and that's grown. Well, that's because several states recognize the Utah permit, but again, a large number of the states in the union are constitutional carry, so you don't even need a permit for those. We teach you that if you take the Maryland course and then you get your Florida and your PA permit, all in all it's about the same as just getting your Maryland permit and taking the Utah course. Gives you all the same states except for Utah will give you Washington State. Delaware doesn't recognize the Maryland permit, but they do recognize the Utah permit. They also recognize the Florida permit. Now Florida, as you may know, is a constitutional carry state. You don't have to have a wear and carry permit to carry in Florida. However, since Delaware recognizes the Florida permit and everything can be done online without taking an additional course, getting your fingerprints done by the state police and then filling out the application and sending them their permit fee will get you the Florida permit as well. And Pennsylvania can all be done online, except for you have to go up there after you are awarded your permit and get it in person at one of the sheriff's offices. It takes about 15 minutes once you walk through the door to complete that, and you're off and running again. So we find more value in the Pennsylvania permit and the Florida permit than we do the Utah permit. I've had one student in the last 4 or so years who needed the Utah permit because they wanted to be able to carry in Utah as well. But most of my students, the value is better put elsewhere. And we're looking out for your money as well as ours. Our goal is to make sure that you get what you need and that you stay lawful and that you stay out of jail. Our next question is going to be, after I get my license, how often should I practice? And that's very important because far too many people in this world will take the course, get their license, and then go to the store, buy a handgun, get ammunition, load the weapon, and put it in a drawer, and that's where it stays. You can't build skill and confidence if you don't practice. And you can't stay current, you can't stay on that leading edge of your skill set. You can't remain confident and have the body and mind and the physical abilities that you need in order to use your firearm if you shove it in a drawer and don't practice with it. Now, I tell people they should practice once a month if they can. At the very least, go to the range once every 2 months and spend 30 minutes on the range, put some rounds down range, practice that trigger press, practice sighting, practice putting rounds on target and staying familiar and building that muscle memory that goes along with doing things automatically as you practice. Most people think that they will perform at the highest level they've ever trained, and that's not the truth. You perform at the highest level at which you stay proficient, and proficiency requires practice. Then our last question is going to be, what other kinds of skills can I practice without going to the range? And as we teach in class, we teach 2 things you should have in your training equipment, and that's going to be your snap caps, or some people call them dummy rounds, and a laser cartridge. The laser cartridge, if you purchase it where we tell you to, you're going to come with spare parts and everything. It's going to last you about 20,000 shots. Now, if you had to fire 20,000 rounds of live ammunition, that's going to cost you several $1,000s. So that laser cartridge allows you, with no other ammunition in the room, with an unloaded firearm, only the laser cartridge in the room, only the laser cartridge in the firearm, to be able to draw and execute a shot to see where that impact's going to be by the laser strike on the target. It allows you to draw, practice drawing from concealment. It allows you to practice drawing and reholstering to the holster and from the holster, and it allows you to practice executing shots in repetition to build that skill and muscle memory that you need. The snap caps, they're invaluable because they will allow you to practice loading and unloading a firearm, swapping magazines and clearing jams, doing the tap and rack exercise that we talk about in class and demonstrate in class. It's important that you practice these skills so that you can stay on that leading edge of your comfort and confidence level, so that when the time comes, you can execute those maneuvers without fail. You can do them automatically from muscle memory, while you're assessing, while you're putting yourself in a better position to defend yourself, while you're doing what you've got to do to defend yourself. Your mind, your brain, your hands, everything is already in motion doing everything else that you need to do to clear a jam, to load, to unload, to swap magazines, and to put a round on target. Now, those are our 5 questions for today. If you can think of any additional questions you'd like to see us ask, put them in the comments below. Hopefully you'll see them in one of our upcoming episodes. Now, don't forget, you can reach out to us at www.mfatt.com, or you can reach us at 410-991-0579. Greatly appreciate you joining us today. But don't forget, train to live. It is a worthwhile endeavor. Thank you.